we're gonna check out some god-tier mobility patterns. And what makes them so amazing is that they focus on strength, endurance, coordination, and flexibility, making them more rounded, more holistic exercises that have a lot of aspects to them, a lot of moving parts, but also immense benefits if we can go through them step by step. So if you're ready, let's go and have some fun. Starting out in a seated position, we want to put both feet flat on the ground, and we're going to combine internal hip rotation with external hip rotation. Short, controlled movements, trying to keep our upper body fully upright and right in the middle. It can't get any easier than that, and we're already building massive strength in our hip flexors, lower abdominals, and working on our gluteal mobility as well. Advancing the same mobility pattern, we're gonna get into a deep low squat resting position and start combining once again internal with external rotation, and this time we add ankle flexion and extension as well. Upper body fully upright. And from this position, we're rolling over our toes, we're pulling in our leg and getting back into our starting position. Before we repeat on the other side, internal hip rotation, external hip rotation. Use your own body strength and control to reverse this movement. And if, just for the beginning, you require a little bit more help, you can work like so. And over time, you're gonna develop all the necessary strength, control, and flexibility to do this without requiring any help from your hands. Next up, we're gonna increase our range of motion, adding a lot of spinal rotation as well. 90-90 switch, internal, external hip rotation, and complete spinal rotation, face to the ground, reverse, get up there, and repeat the exact same process on the other side into the other direction. You're gonna notice we have a lot more opening around our hip flexors and our quadriceps, and we have complete spinal rotation all the way to our neck. Now with the next one, we can start adding a little bit more anterior chain strength. Left hand, left side, left arm extended, pull in, reverse, and repeat on the other side. Now this one is very simple, but it's gonna require a lot of strength in your anterior chain and enough mobility or flexibility in your posterior chain to be able to extend from such a low position. Adding one more movement to this pattern, extend forward, extend backwards, reverse, and repeat on the other side. And if you wanna add a little bit more flexibility with this movement, touch your toes here, touch your toes here, reverse and repeat, touch, touch, reverse and repeat. And this one's gonna require a lot of core strength. We're adding the tiniest bit of arm strength as well. And if you wanna increase that too, when we are here, we're gonna go as low as we can. We're practically adding a one-armed push-up variation as well to this exercise. Now, having focused a lot on our anterior chain for now, we're gonna switch a little bit to our posterior chain when it comes to strength and flexibility. We're gonna move into a complete Cossack position, just like so. So this is the base movement for the entire pattern, and we're gonna add pseudo back bridges to stretch our anterior chain this time while strengthening our posterior chain here. And when moving up, we have a nice stretch in our adductors, our hamstrings, moving to the other side, hand behind the extended leg and pushing our hips up as much as we can, lengthening the right side, all the way up, all the way down, lengthening the left side and repeating in a dynamic fashion. And the point where you feel the most stretch is the perfect position to hold statically just for a handful of seconds. Enjoy that amazing stretch before you move on to the next repetition, just if you feel like it. Now we're gonna add a big jump in difficulty only for the next two patterns. All the way up, all the way down. We've already mastered the Cossack. We already know how to bend backwards. And now we're gonna add an explosive movement from here. Thread the needle, as we call it, and extend our leg. Go as low to the ground as possible to get as much strength in your arms and chest and shoulder going, and a lot of stretch in our posterior chain once again. And then we want to reverse the exact same movement. Stay with me. By switching our hands like so and reversing the exact movement back into our starting position. All the way up, all the way down. Let's slow this down a little bit. Left hand behind the left, extended leg, pushing our hips up, and then explosive. Switch hands, extend the right leg, go low as you can, and grab for maximum stretch before we reverse and repeat. Now another tiny jump in difficulty, same foundational starting movement, Cossack squat. We're working on a lot of strength in our quadriceps and leg musculature in general. Once again, hand behind the extended leg. We're gonna push up, and instead of making that jump, we're going to bring our knees together, combining internal and external hip rotation. And from behind the bent leg, we're gonna grab those toes and once again go as low to the ground as we can. Reverse. Exactly the same way as we did before. Move up all the way, move down all the way on the other side, and repeat. We're crossing over our knees, we're going low to the ground, we're grabbing for maximum stretch in our posterior chain, and once again, switch hands, reverse, and repeat on the other side. Now let's add a little bit more fun, a little bit more pep to our step. The classic upright frontal ape walk, which is going to require a lot of hip mobility and a lot of strength surrounding our hip musculature, specifically our hip flexors and our quads. Keep your upper body extended by pushing your lower spine into extension and move low to the ground with your legs and upper body fully upright. Moving this whole thing into a lateral position, we're still gonna keep our legs pretty close together, and we're gonna do those tiny lateral monkey jumps. Both hands on the ground, jump, and we're adding a little bit more explosiveness, but we're also adding a lot more strength and a lot more coordination to our upper body. All the way to the right, all the way to the left. Try and go for a full minute for each of these exercises, and by the time you're done, you're gonna notice it way harder than it actually looks. Now, while these short movements require a lot of strength, we can add a little bit more flexibility by extending one leg. And now we want to have a much longer range of motion, focusing more on those adductors and hips. Jump with an extension and push your hips down when you switch positions from the right side to the left side, so we can have a maximum opening and a maximum benefit of hip mobility before once again we raise both feet from the ground and switch. And then of course to the other direction, because we do not want to end up imbalanced looking like Quasimodo or something. If you think Monkey Man was exhausting, you have no idea. We're once again gonna start with both hands on the ground, both feet on the ground, and this time we're going to raise our hips as much as we can. And if possible, I want you to extend both your legs completely. Hands stay on the ground. Now we're gonna move right side with the left side and left side with the right side. Asymmetrically, try and keep your back, if not in an extension, then at the very least in a neutral position, and move arms and legs completely extended. The giraffe walk, as it is called, requires immense posterior chain flexibility, a lot of coordination to move those extended arms and legs together diagonally, vice versa, right with left, left with right, and keep them extended all the way. A very similar one when it comes to the starting position is the bear crawl, but instead of extending our legs and arms completely, we're going to raise our hips above our shoulders, but we're gonna keep our knees bent, and that means we're gonna require a lot more hip flexor strength and a lot more core strength while we are moving. And if you want to add a little bit more forearm and hand strength, what we're gonna do is work on our fingertips instead of on our fists or on our open hands. And once again, this time we are running on our toes to strengthen our foot musculature as a slight bonus. Moving us to one of the patterns that has become one of my favorites over time, which is the duck walk. One knee on the ground, one foot flat, pushing your hips forward until both knees touch the ground completely before you move to the next step. And this exercise is going to open up your hips and adductors insanely, require a lot of strength surrounding our hips, especially in our extensors, meaning our glutes. And the amount of benefits is simply amazing when it comes to strengthening and stretching with this movement pattern. If you can do this for a complete minute, you're gonna notice how insanely strenuous this exercise is, and over time you're going to want to add this to any sort of workout where you are remotely working on your hip speed before the exercises or after. And this moves us to by far the most strength dominant of our mobility patterns, which is going to be the lizard walk. We're once again moving asymmetrically, right side with left side. We're gonna go as close to the ground as possible. And we wanna add a lot of hip rotation in this movement pattern as well. Meaning left hand moves with the right foot and we're turning on our hips as much as we can, going as low as we can to the ground and moving step by step. External rotation in both our shoulders, in our hips as well, and moving through this insane lumbar rotation for maximum mobility requirements. And the lower we go to the ground, of course, the more strength we're going to require in this movement as well. Very low, left with right, rotating your hip, right with left, rotating your hip, and repeat as close to the ground as you can. And this one is gonna build some insane full body strength, coordination, and flexibility. And if you can do this regularly, once or twice a week, for 2 or 3 minutes, you're gonna be amazed at the amount of benefits you're getting from this one single movement pattern. Now you have quite the assortment of mobility patterns. I would suggest using the easy ones that you can do without any problem as a warm-up for the ones that you are struggling with a little bit. Try and go for a full minute for each one of these exercises. And if you have the time and if you have the strength, you can work on a second round. So you're only doing like 15 to 30 minutes at a maximum. And if you can do this 3 times a week, you will have all the necessary flexibility, endurance, and coordination to advance in all other kinds of fitness aspects if you want to. And if you don't want to, this will be more than enough to keep you loose, limber, and healthy for quite a while. And with that said, if you like the video, and come on, subscribe. We do stuff like that almost every single day, which means that I will probably see you tomorrow. Until then, have a good one. Captain Cairo. Peace out.